Today we are going yarn shopping at Michael's. Okay, here we are in the yarn department. And the first thing I see is the new Impeccable yarns. The solid yarns have 285 yards of 100% acrylic. And then the stripe colors have less. I think it's 200. Nope, it's 187 yards. And this is a 4-weight yarn. They are $4.99. And these are some of the new yarns that we got at the beginning of the year. The new colors of the Impeccable yarn. Here we have the, I think is it Susan Bates knitting needles for $7.99. I wonder if they're on sale because they were clearanced at $2 before. And I did not check the prices while I was there, but it is on the clearance aisle, so I'm thinking that it probably is. So the only yarn that I see on the clearance aisle is the Loops and Threads macrame yarn. And it is $5. It's a 7 jumbo weight. It is 85% cotton, 15% polyester, 82 yards. Now, every place that I have been that has yarn in the clearance area, every Michael's I've been to, still has some of this macrame yarn. So it is maybe not one of the favorite yarns that Michael's has ever put out. Okay, these are one of the new yarns that came out at the beginning of the year in January. And I do want to show you there is a sale. All yarn is buy one, get one 50% off. And of course that is of equal or lesser value. This is the, what's it called? Cozy Blanket, 32 yards. It is a 7-weight. Use a 25mm hook. And this, I really love the feel of this yarn. I love the colors. Let's see, it's $9.99 a skein. But I just don't know if I would make something with it. It's very thick yarn. It's like terry cloth rope. Okay, now I do want to let you guys know that there aren't any super new yarns right here. All of the new yarns that I mentioned were new in January. I'm just kind of going down through the aisles, showing you what this particular Michael's has. This Michael's is in Topeka, Kansas. And this Michael's yarn department has shrunk quite a bit. From the first time I went there, I would say 3 years ago, it's shrunk probably, it's more than half, or I'm sorry, less than half the size it used to be. But they do look pretty well stocked today. I'm going to show you everything I look at. So this Snuggly Wuggly, that's really the name of the yarn, by Loops and Threads, 446 yards. It is a 3 lightweight, and it is, I believe it's 100% acrylic. It is only, I believe, $5.99, which is a great price for that yardage. And this yarn is really soft. This is in the baby yarn section. So I really like this yarn. And for the buy one, get one 50% off, that's a great price. Now I found something on these patterns that I had never noticed before, because I was trying to figure out which of these were new, which of them are old, because there are a lot of old ones there. See down in the bottom right hand corner, it shows a date. And some of them are like 2022, some of them are 2023. It says down there in the bottom right hand corner, so there were, I would say maybe a quarter of them were new patterns. Okay, the Bernat Softy Baby is $6.99, and it is really very soft. There are 310 yards. And this one is 362, so the variegated does have less yardage than the solid colors. And really, I think I'm starting to realize that you get more bang for your buck with the baby yarns, just because it is a smaller yarn a lot of times. At least these yarns are, the 3-weight yarns. And they're softer. I like 3-weight yarn, but I am a smaller yarn person. Like, I'm not one of these sweet snuggles, thick yarn type of persons. This is a 6 super bulky, and there are all sorts of pretty baby colors. See, it says new, those little blue tags say new, but that was back from, I would say, July. Those new tags are from July, so these aren't new. They were new in July, but they're not new now. And this is a thicker. This is the Snuggly. What did it say? Snuggly. No, Sweet Snuggles. That's the Sweet Snuggles Light. It is a 6-weight, and then the Sweet Snuggles is a 7-weight, and it is thicker. But I do love the colors. They're very soft pastels and would make a very nice baby blanket. Okay, right in the middle of the screen right there with the filled stripes, kind of pastel colors, that is the Ice Cream yarn by Lion Brand. And it is $11.99. Here is the Pound of Love yarns. They are $11.99 as well. They're a 4-weight. Ice Cream Big Scoop, that's what it is. This is, how many yards is it? It's 100% acrylic. It's a pastel green Pound of Love. 4-weight, 1,020 yards. You get some good yardage in the Pound of Love. I really like this yarn. The Ice Cream yarn is softer. The Ice Cream Big Scoop, it's by Lion Brand also. And it's a 3-weight. There are 1,117 yards of the Baby Big Scoop. Or Ice Cream Big Scoop. And they're very, the store is stocked with yarn, which I am glad. For the past few months, it seems like the shelves have been pretty empty, but they're going back to full, so that's good. Now this Karen Cake section, I've been to many Michaels. 383 yards, 4-weight. And these are the standard, the basic Karen Cakes that they carry all year round. This is the Karen Cake that started it all, just basic Karen Cake. And the Karen Cakes are soft, they're nice yarn. They have beautiful colors, and the way they stock their Karen Cakes is they stripe them down. So the plain Karen Cakes go from top down to the bottom. Now this is a Karen Cloud Cake. And, I found that one over in the regular Karen Cakes, and I took it back over to where it goes. Okay, next to the Karen Cakes are the Karen Big Cakes. And these kind of feel like the Karen Pound of Love. They're not super soft. But they're soft, you know. They would make a nice blanket. 4 medium weight. There are 603 yards. And they are $12.99. And right next to it is the Karen baby cakes. And baby cakes, it said no wool, 82% acrylic, 18% nylon, 560 yards, and it is a 4-weight. And this is softer. The baby cakes are softer than the big cakes and softer than the Karen cakes. And they are kind of in pastel baby type colors. But do you see what I mean by they stripe the cakes up and down? Like from the top of the shelf down to the bottom of the shelf, all in a row are all the baby cakes. And same with the cotton cakes here. These are the Karen cotton cakes. They are $12.99. And it's a 4-weight yarn. It is 60% cotton, 40% acrylic, 530 yards. And that is a soft cotton. It feels a little different than, say, the I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. But it is soft and it's very nice to work with. This is the cotton, let's see, I believe, is it funnel cake or ripple cake? This is cotton ripple cake. It is 100% cotton and it is $12.99. And I didn't see whether the cotton ripple cake was a 3-weight or a 4-weight. I believe it's a 3-weight. But don't quote me on that. I'm not exactly sure. Next are the cloud cakes. The cloud cakes are soft as soft can be. And they are right there in the middle. They are, I think they're polyester. I'll check out a label here in just a second. Yeah, they are super soft. I think they are the softest Karen cake that I have ever felt. And I know I'm going to look at the label here in a second. They are they say they're a 4-weight. I think they're a 3-weight, 100% polyester. These cakes are 760 yards, which makes them go a good long ways. It's nice to have that much yarn in a cake, and especially when they say it's a 4-weight, but it really feels like a 3-weight to me. Okay, here's the Karen latte cakes. These are super soft. They've got the kind of eyelashy pieces sticking off of them. That's what makes it super soft. It's a 5-weight, 58 acrylic, 42% nylon, 530 pounds. I mean, 530 yards. You knew what I meant. Super pretty colors. And these are over in this section that the Karen cakes are in. These are not the limited edition Karen cakes. These are the ones that they carry all year round. And they just set up this Karen cake section in all the Michaels last year. So I'm anxious to see maybe this year if they change the colors up a little bit. If they do, I'm thinking they'll do it sometime in July. Ooh, this is a nice free pattern on the Karen marble cakes. These are 404 yards, a 4-weight yarn, and they're nice. They're soft too. None of them are along the lines of Super Saver. They're all way softer than Super Saver. Than Red Heart Super Saver. Okay, this is 204 yards, 80% acrylic, 20%. Was that 20% wool? And those are the Karen tea cakes. And then right next to those is the Karen chunky cakes. Whoops. That was a Karen big cake. Somebody put it in the wrong place. Karen chunky cakes. These are 100% acrylic, 297 yards. It is a 6-weight yarn. Okay, let's go Over here, here's a bunch of the blanket yarns. The Bernat blanket yarns, those are a lot like the limited edition cakes that we looked at the beginning, the loops and threads. Except, of course, these are Bernat. They're $11.99, which makes them $2 more than the loops and threads, although they have different colors over here in the Bernat. It looks like they have a much bigger selection of colors. And different. They have some variegateds and some, like grays and things like that. The loops and threads are a little more spring type colors. I have seen this before, but every time I see it, it shocks me. It says it's Bernat Plush Big. It's like a tube of yarn. And I'm not exactly sure what is inside that tube of yarn. It is 100% polyester, 45 yards. 7 weight. It's soft and squishy, but I have no idea what I would make with it. All I can think of is a blanket or a pillow, something like that. I do like the colors. Over here are the loops and threads plush type yarns. It's called Chenille Home. This is 109 yards, 7 weight. And it is super soft and plush. And this is the smaller one. This is the Chenille Home Slim. It's got twice as many yards. I think it's 218. And I think it's a 6 weight. The bigger one was a 7 weight, I believe. And the loops and threads types of yarn are less expensive, of course, than like the Bernat, because the loops and threads is the Michael's store brand. Oh my gosh, look at this yarn. This is gorgeous. Royal Velvet, 54 yards. It is $11.99, and it is a 7 jumbo, 100% polyester. You guys, this is so soft. And look at that color. Wouldn't that make it like a super pretty throw blanket? Okay, Bernat Softy Chunky. This is not soft. To me, this yarn is not soft. It is a 6 super bulky, 108 yards, 100% acrylic. It's weird because this Bernat Softy Chunky used to be a lot softer, it seems to me, but it feels just a little bit rough. And it is $5.99. And next to the Softy Chunky is Lion Brand Homespun, 185 yards. It's a 5 weight, and it is 90% acrylic. What's the other part? 90% acrylic. Or was it 98% acrylic? Okay. Now here are all the cotton yarns. This is the Lily Sugar and Cream. It's a 4 weight cotton, and it is not super soft. I would not use this as a wearable. 120 yards for $2.99. And then, of course, the variegated has less yardage. It has, 95 yards. This is more to make, I like to make bags with this, like, beach bags or things that don't have to be super soft. Wash rags, placemats, things like that. Pot holders. But right next to it is the loops and threads cotton. 96 yards for the variegated. 85% recycled cotton. And then 15%, what was it? Polyester, 15% polyester. And It is a 4-weight yarn also. It feels very similar to the Peaches and Cream, but it is $1 less expensive per ball or skein. And here is the Premier Cotton. I love these colors. I love the 2-weight yarn. This is quite a bit smaller than the 4-weight yarn. It's 317 yards, 52% cotton, 48% acrylic, and it's a lot softer than the other two. These I would make wearables out of. The Premier Cottons are definitely wearable yarn. It feels soft next to your skin. Okay, the next to it is the Cream Cotton. This is by Loops and Threads. It's a 4 medium weight, 87% cotton, 13% nylon. That's a pretty wrap right there. Deep Orchid, 312 yards. And I love the colors. I love that pale orchid and the regular orchid. And these you could definitely make wearables, blankets, things that you wouldn't mind having next to your skin. Right next to it is the Capri Tencel yarn, 273 yards, and it is a, what weight is this? It's a 3-weight and it is 100% Tencel. It feels very similar to the True Boo yarn by Lion Brand. And I think this is going to be a little less expensive than the True Boo. It is $5.99. I'll have to see what Tencel is. I know I have learned what it is before and I have forgotten what it is. Okay, this is the Patons Grace. It is 136 yards of 100% mercerized cotton. I love this. It is a very nice mercerized cotton. It feels like more like a 2-weight. I didn't actually see what weight yarn that said on it, but it feels like a 2-weight for $6.99. And here is the Lion Brand True Boo. I love this yarn. They have beautiful colors, beautiful summertime colors. I have made a top with this before. It was Evelyn and Peter's saltwater taffy tee. I think that's what it's called, saltwater taffy tee. It's wonderful drape. This is perfect. This yarn is perfect for a summer top, a summer dress, and look at all the beautiful colors. There are so many colors of this. And they're soft colors. Even the bright colors in this have a soft, what would you call it? A soft look to it. They're not bold and bright. They're soft and bright. And here I was thinking about getting this yarn, so I'm going to put it right there because I'm not sure if I'm going to get it or not. Okay, now we're going to look at some of the thicker wool type yarns. These are not the 100% wool. I don't believe. These are the Wool E's. They're a wool blend. And, oh, look, there are some actual woolies with sparkles. And they have quite a few, although not as many as they used to. This one is Marble. It is a 6 super bulky, 80% acrylic, 20% wool. And this is the Wool Ease Thick and Quick. 106 yards. And it is thick, and things do work up very quickly when you crochet or knit with them. Let's see. Did the variegateds have less yardage than the full or than the one colors? I think they do. I've crocheted and knitted many a hat with the Thick and Quick. Now this is 80% acrylic, 20% wool, Woolies. It's not the Thick and Quick, it's the regular 4-weight. This yarn is soft, it's nice. I love the natural colors. Oh, the green isn't a natural color. I've never seen a green sheep or a pink sheep walking around in a field, so they have dyed it, but I still think they're pretty. Okay, here we have, this is Loops and Threads. Let's see, 90 yards, 50% wool, 50% acrylic, cozy wool. And it's a 6-weight. It is very similar to the Lion Brand Thick and Quick. Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick. It's very similar to it. So it would be a great substitution for anything that you would be wanting to make with Lion Brand Thick and Quick. And it's a few dollars less, I think. The Thick and Quick, if I remember right, is $8.99. Let's see, the Woolies Thick and Quick has 106 yards. And the Loops and Threads, I think, was it 87 or 90 yards? $7.99, so it's $1 less. Here is the Loops and Threads Lush Alpaca. This yarn is lush. It's 86 yards. It's a 6-weight, and it is wonderful. I have knitted and crocheted mini scarves with this yarn, and it is perfect for scarves, for hats, for anything that you're going to be wearing next to your skin in the winter time. And it is, wow, it's only $6.99. That's a good price for that yarn, especially when they're buy one, get one 50% off. Here's the Lion Brand Scarfy yarn. It is 312 yards, 78% acrylic. Yeah, and 22% wool. And over here are the Craft Smart yarns. Oops, but first let's take a look at this Patton's yarn. It's 100% wool, 194 yards, $6.99, which buy one, get one half off. That makes it just a little over $10 for a 4-weight that has, how many yards? 194. So almost 400 yards of 100% wool for right around $10. So that's a pretty good price. Okay, next to it is the Craft Smart yarns. And the Craft Smart section is a lot smaller than it used to be. This is 4 medium weight, and this is a solid color, 100% acrylic, 354 yards. Now the variegated and stripe yarns for the Craft Smart do have less yardage. It's 252 yards. But the yarn is soft. I think it's softer than Red Heart Super Saver. Especially since the yarn started being made in Turkey. Before, when it was made in China, it was a little rougher. I like it a lot better now. This Super Saver does not feel good. I felt it. It's kind of rough. It's a 4-weight. It is how many yards? 364 yards. The Karen 1 pound is definitely softer than the Super Saver. It's not super soft, but I would have no problem making a blanket out of it. Especially a blanket that's going to get lots of use and wear, because this yarn is a really good yarn. I have blankets that I've had for over 10 years made with the Karen 1 pound. I have blankets that are 25, well, I have one 25-year-old blanket that I made with a Red Heart Super Saver that we still use every day in my house. Okay, there's the one full aisle. That was the one full aisle that there is of yarn in this Michaels right here. And then the next aisle is only half an aisle. So that shows you how much. I think there used to be 3 aisles of yarn and it shrunk down that much. So here we have, on the very edge, there's more of the Lion Brand Homespun. Then right here we have some Hometown. This is the Hometown bonus bundle, so it's quite a bit bigger. This is like twice the size of the Hometowns that they have at Walmart, and the regular size Hometown, I think they have those at Joann's also. It's 100% acrylic, 162 yards, and it's got a, it's very soft. It's very soft, and it feels a lot like a very thick Karen Simply Soft. It also is maybe a very thick Hometown. The yarn right next to it, in the blues, the purples, the greens that you see right there, that's $5.99. That is Lion Brand Heartland, not Hometown, it's Heartland. Love this yarn. This is a 4-weight, 251 yards, 100% acrylic. This is one of my favorite yarns of all time, the Lion Brand Heartland. This is the Karen Simply Soft. It is 315 yards. It is $5.99 also. There aren't a whole lot of colors of the Karen Simply Soft here, because right next to it is the Loops and Threads Soft and Shiny, which is very much like the Simply Soft. 207 yards. Has a free pattern on the label. It's a 4-weight, and it feels a lot like the Karen Simply Soft. 311 yards for the solid color. Oh, those are $4.99, and then the Karen Simply Soft are $5.99, so they are $1 less. And there are more of the Loops and Threads yarn than there are of the Karen Cakes, or I'm sorry, the Karen Simply Soft. Okay, here's Facets. This was new last year, 279 yards. This is almost a dead ringer for Red Heart Unforgettable. And if you notice, the Michaels no longer carries the Red Heart Unforgettable. They have all of the facets instead, which there are a lot of different colors of the facets, although it does look like they need to restock some of them. They're kind of light on the facets right now. Ooh, that one's a pretty color. That one that was up there, I kind of went by it too fast. Here we go, Eco Lux, 82 yards, $7.99. And this is, oh, it's a recycled, is it recycled polyester or acrylic? I don't remember. Okay, here we've got the Loops and Threads Impressions. It is $8.99, 246 yards. It is 100% acrylic, 5 bulky, and it reminds me a lot of the Barcelona. They don't carry the Barcelona anymore, but if you've been shopping at Michael's for a while, you'll remember the Barcelona. These are smaller, have less yardage than the Barcelona. And that was a Loops and Threads yarn also. Okay, we're coming to the Loops and Threads Charisma. This is it a 5 weight or a 6 weight? But it is Michael's store brand. It's 93 yards and $3.99 is a great price. It is 100% acrylic, 5 weight, and $3.99 with a get one half off. If you came in here and bought a whole bunch of Charisma, you'd get a really good deal. That's basically like getting 25% off. And the rest of the yarn on this aisle is the Loops and Threads. Wow, the name is escaping me. Impeccable. I knew I'd remember it. But they've got a lot of colors of Impeccable. And $3.99 is a great price for this also. Let's see what the yardage is. They've got lots of purples, and you'll notice they have variegated, they have striped, they have tweeds, and of course they have the solid colors. I was kind of confused by this. Some of the signs say $4.99, some say $3.99. I'm pretty sure they're all $3.99. And that is the one aisle. I wish there was more yarn on the other side, but there's just not. Okay, this is 4 weight. It is 285 yards for the solid color, 100% acrylic. Now the Impeccable is not the softest yarn. It's a good workhorse yarn, but it is not as soft as, I would say it's comparable to Red Heart Super Saver, maybe a little softer. The tweed is softer. Okay, this has 100, was it 109 yards? No, there's got to be more than that. Let's look at 187 yards. And that's for the variegated. And the stripes is, I think it's 184 yards too. But it does look like they need to restock this. And yeah, that is an empty shelf. This is 190 yards for the tweed. So yeah, their yardages are kind of all over the place, but no matter what, the solid colors are more yardage. The stripes and variegated are less yardage. Okay, now here are the yarns that were new in January. These are the Blossom Cakes. These are so incredibly soft. I love these yarns. Although they have every single color except the one I needed to get. They do have the cream colored Blossom Cakes, but I needed the the white and gray blossom cakes to finish a blanket I have. So I was like, no. Anyway, these are 481 yards, 61% cotton, 39% acrylic, and super pretty variegated colors. They're a chain spun type kind of yarn. And now, when I first saw the Karen Cinnamon Swirl Cakes, I thought that I was going to like them so much better than the Blossom Cakes. And I do like the colors better. I love these colors. What was the yardage on that? 400, was it 409? It's 100% acrylic, but its softness level is right up there with like the Karen Pound, 1 pound. So I love it because of the colors, but I'm not super impressed with the softness of it. But still, look at those colors. I did get some and I made a shawl with it. I've got to tell you, that pattern that is on the label with that double ruffle, I don't know if it's on every label, but can you see it kind of in the background off to the left? I think or right up there on the right. This is the color I got that I made the scarf with, or the shawl with. The thing I love about it is it's a beautiful shawl with a double ruffle border. It's so nice. And this shows what the blossom cakes look like worked up. I love that green. I need to get some to make a sweater because I love that sweater. Okay. Well, you guys, we are coming to the end of the video. I'm just taking another look at all these awesome blossom cakes. If you guys had fun shopping with me today, please click that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell so you never miss a second of yarn shopping or a second of yarny fun, because we have lots of yarny fun on our channel. Oh, I forgot about this yarn. How could I forget about this yarn? This is the Cozy Boucle. It's one of the limited edition that was new this January. It's 164 yards, and they have a bunch of springtime colors. These all have flecks. There's blue that has white and green flecks, dark blue with light blue and white flecks, purple with lime green, white and yellow flecks, white with black and gray flecks, a white with a dark blue and lighter blue flecks, white with all kinds of green flecks, white with orange and yellow and green, and yellow with green and white with pink and red, and pink with pink and purple. Beautiful. Love you guys. Bye.